Welcome back to CBS This Morning. Many employers around the country are grappling with how to get workers back safely in this pandemic. Epic Systems is a healthcare software company that is the largest private sector employer in Dane County, Wisconsin. Well, now it faces objections from hundreds of employees to its plans to put thousands of workers back together on its office campus. Our consumer investigative correspondent, Anna Werner, along with our partners at Clear Health Costs, have been learning why some employees are so upset.
Well, some major tech companies are keeping their employees working from home. Google through next July, Twitter indefinitely. But this giant medical record software company says all of its employees need to come back to the office. And now some of those employees are speaking to us.
Nearly 10,000 people work at Epic's medical records software business on this sprawling campus outside Madison. In mid-March, most shifted to working from home. But now the company says they must come back. Chief Administrative Officer Sver Roang.
We know that we have this responsibility to healthcare workers around the world and to their patients to make sure that we are at our very best. The fact is that we can't do what we do without being together at the absolute highest level.
Roang says to enhance safety on Epic's unique theme park-like campus, visited by CBS late last year, the company took extra steps, including private offices for its employees, enhanced heating and filtration systems, and a takeout-only cafeteria.
We are not taking this lightly, and so we will do so in a very mindful and careful way and make sure that it's safe.
But some employees say they don't feel safe and worry about spreading infection. We've concealed these two employees' identities because they fear being fired.
I am deeply morally outraged by our response. I feel like we are not evaluating the risk that we are taking. I don't want us to be the epicenter of the next breakout.
They're reacting to an email sent to staff earlier this month by Epic CEO Judy Faulkner, obtained by CBS News. In it, she told employees staff working at home is not nearly as good as staff working at Epic. Even if work gets done, we are losing big time the culture that made the company successful. Executives say even workers with high-risk health conditions must return to the office by November.
I have to make the hard choice between, do I risk getting sick or do I risk not having a paycheck?
In internal employee surveys obtained by CBS News, hundreds of staffers voiced their objections. One writing, "I'm quite frankly embarrassed to work at a company that values employee and public safety so little." And from another, this, "There will be people who die because of Epic's insistence on returning to campus."
They described it as dangerous, rushed, unnecessary, shameful, disappointing, wildly irresponsible, and a disaster. If the company is doing as good of a job prioritizing safety with this plan as you say you are, why are the employees describing it in that fashion?
Well, I haven't seen those expressions, and I hope that all of our employees can continue to work with us to make sure that we are doing the very best by them.
Did you personally read the surveys?
I did.
And you don't remember these comments?
Like I said, we have a number of channels that we have where we get comments from employees, including an email group. All I was meaning to say is that I don't recall those words from that survey, but we certainly are hearing the concerns of our staff.
Just because you can go back into the office doesn't mean that you should go back into the office.
Dr. Anne Ramoyne is a UCLA professor of epidemiology.
And to forfeit safety for the idea of having collaborative moments is something that I just can't agree with.
Employees who now have no choice but to return say they just hope the company will reconsider.
Please put the safety of your employees and the greater community first.
Now, since we spoke with them, in an email to employees late last night, Epic's CEO said the company is now having nationally recognized experts review its plans and will make adjustments as needed. She also revealed that since the start of the pandemic, 24 staff have tested positive, but said that none of them said the source came from Epic. The first wave of workers is expected back on Monday.
Yeah, it's a tough choice, Jerika, as you heard that employee say, having to choose between getting sick or receiving a paycheck. Our thanks to Anna Werner for that reporting.